Hello everybody and welcome to one of the final times I'm going to be playing on the Pixels SMP. The server is closing on February 28th, 2026, and yeah, not much else I can record on the server, other than today, where I'm going to be recording a little bit of another send-off video. I'm going to go to every warpstone, waystone, whatever you want to call them. So let's do that. Starting with, my home base. We've seen this one quite a bit. I removed everything, I think, except for this little fox den back here. Yeah, they're still there. They can stay. And my farm. Other than that, we're gonna go to the Waystone. You've seen my base in 3 different videos already. We don't need to see that anymore. Let's go through my Waystones for this video. We're just gonna go through them one by one. There's about, I don't know, 50. Some public ones. Let's go through the public ones first. Start off, monumental occasion. So this one, if I remember correctly, is just a monument. I think it might be unrated, possibly claimed by me. It might be rated. Is there a sponge room? Never really know how to find the sponge rooms, so who knows. But I think I just claimed one because I was going to make a farm for myself one day eventually. And I never did. Just been here forever. Let's mine that waystone. I forgot that I didn't have a warp stone on me, and breaking the waystone means I gotta go to spawn every time. That's just a bit much. So yeah, I fixed that. I also got a couple buckets of milk in my other waystones because I want to see how many waystones I had by the very end if I mine all my waystones. It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next waystone. Green Death Zone. So, this area, Green Death Zone, this is where I found an exploit where if you die on a cactus, you die, you drop a grave, but you get stuck in this limbo where you die and die and die and keep dropping graves. And every grave that you loot that you died with drops a little bit of XP in each of them. And you can farm XP this way by dying fully, opening the graves, and then doing it again. And then your next graves will drop more XP. You can see down here, I've got a bunch of glitched graves. This is proof that I did it here, if that's even necessary. Because there can only be so many graves that spawn. I think it's like 20 to 30 graves before it just deletes any new graves. So this is where I did it. Green Death Zone. Let's go to the next one. Boat Prank. Alrighty, so this is the boat prank. So this boat prank, basically I figured out that if you're in a boat, you teleport with a waystone, it teleports you and the boat. So what we did is me and Onion and Cherry might have been there, a bunch of people got together and took boats, these boats, and like 100 others, and teleported to spawn with them and then got out of the boat. And we also threw a bunch of chicken eggs to spawn a bunch of chickens in the boats. So spawn was full of boats, and it was really funny. Yeah, there's nothing else around here. I think somebody claimed it. I don't even know if I can mine this. Yeah, somebody's claimed here. I have chat off, so it's not going to show it, but this is, somebody wanted to preserve it, I guess, or something. I don't know. I wouldn't mind if this was blown up. It wasn't really a build. Let's go to Iceland. Here's Iceland. This is one of my, I think, first few waystones. Probably my 20th, 10th or 20th waystone I've placed. I placed it in this little house. I think I just did it so I could farm ice with my Silk Touch pickaxe. Oh, I don't know my Electron. It wasn't the very start of me joining the server, but it was kind of one of the earlier ones. I never actually mined ice here. I figured out at spawn you could just fly north, and then there was a really easy to access ice spikes biome, so I just went there. I think I do have this claimed too. I'm not going to unclaim it because I've got chat off. Yeah, here's the coordinates. Go to the next one. Deep Cave Thang. This was definitely one of my earlier, probably one of my first 10 teleports that I made. I can't remember who I was with when I made this. It might have been like with Soda. I was talking with somebody. Might have been Ooh3 Bitagoom or whatever his name is. Little base. I think I looted it recently of all the like ore and stuff. I had a bit of redstone, a bit of iron. Nothing too special. But yeah, it was kind of a little cave thing. I got a lot of diamonds out of this cave. Right down here you can see a little tunnel down. I think I free cammed into this room, saw some diamonds, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like some of my first few diamonds. I got to go get those. And so it was definitely early on that I came to this place. Deep cave thing. Here are the coordinates. Don't pick up my waystone. You picked up my waystone. Okay, this is embarrassing. Go to the next one. These are all the public waystones done. I didn't like having public waystones. I didn't like people teleporting to my shit. That idea just bugged me. Let's go to Beacon of Hope. So, funny story about this one. I can share it now that the server is closing. This was a spot I picked on the world map. I looked online on the world map, and it was the furthest spot from anybody's build on this island. It's not a bad island. Can I turn up my render distance? No, I think 8 is the max on the server. It's not a bad island. I'm surprised nobody's built on it, actually. So I chose a really far away spot because I wanted to make a secret bunker where I store all my stuff. It's unclaimed by me. It's never been claimed, except for I think while I was working on it. And way below, you'll see another waystone down here under this conspicuous lava pit. Somebody actually mined right by it, and it was scary. This is my bunker where I store all my heads. I think I originally had this as my main bunker, where I would store all of my loot, like every single shulker, probably like 60 or more shulkers. But you can see it's not too far from spawn. It's only 3,000 in one direction and 6,000 in another. And somebody actually mined close by it. They were mining on through here. And it spooked me quite a bit. This was in like the last 2 months. Somebody mined here, and I was like, "Oh crap! I have to relocate." And so I moved all my stuff. These are only the extra heads that I have now. There's quite a few of them actually. I might go through those in another video before the server closes. But this was all above it. I wanted a spot to be able to teleport above it, so it was less conspicuous if somebody was nearby. And that is that's Beacon of Hope. Here's the coordinates again. Yeah. Hello? Okay, so it's claimed by somebody? Hello? There we go. That was weird. Yeah, that's Beacon of Hope. Let's go to the next one. I'm actually gonna go to Bunker. So this is Bunker. This is right below the Beacon of Hope that I just showed off. Lava pool. I can actually show off the heads right now. Might as well. You probably want to see them. There's quite a few of these shulkers. Like I said, I had more here and on the other side of the room that I got rid of because the location was compromised. I didn't want people stealing all my shit before I leave. I wanted somebody to find it eventually, kind of, but at the same time, if I ever came back, I wouldn't want somebody to. I'm just gonna go over these really, really fast. If you want to press the little arrows beside the question mark on your keyboard, left and right, and you can go through the you can go through the video frame by frame if it's paused. There's a bunch of just extra heads. See, I've got like 18 squiggle queen heads. Just all the extra ones that kind of didn't care for. Well, I cared for Maid Doja's head. And Rudolph, and a lot of people I did care for. I just had like 50 billion of their other heads, and so I just kept them all in these chests. A lot of these are rare too, like people that don't play anymore. That's why I kept them in my bunker, rather than just leaving them in my base for somebody to steal. And this one. Fake tree head. I got the real one, finally, after all these years. I've been waiting to get this one. I actually just stole it from McDonald's. Thank you, McDonald's, for letting me do that. I'm gonna leave the coordinates. If anybody wants these heads, come and get them. You got like, what is it? It is the 23rd today. You've got 5 days to steal them all. So this was bunker. Let's go to bunk. Here's bunk. It's a lot smaller, as you'll notice. Let's mine this right away. So all my shulkers are dark, as you'll notice. It's in a naturally forming lava pool. I would have done it in this one, but there's a huge hole there. It wouldn't have worked as well. I think it was too low as well. Here's it from the surface. It's kind of a snowy area. I actually had a waystone here. It was named like Wallace War or something. I might still have it. I think it was right here though, so maybe not. But let's see what I got in these shulkers. I'm gonna leave these too if anybody wants to yoink them. You'll just have to do a bit of effort too. A bit of looking. I mean, I'll leave the coordinates in a second here, but... Okay, that's all of those. Let's patch this back up. So I've got a ton of food. If I ever got back on the server, I just need food. That's just obvious. Plated chainmail. This is what I always wear. This is plated chainmail. I just renamed it. It's actually as good as diamond, but it looks like iron. It's kind of cheeky. I'll show that off right now, actually. See how I have... I think it gives you full bars? Yeah, look at all my iron, or my armor bars. It's full. Kinda handy. We also have... You know, we've got this. Horse armor. We've got our Swift Sneak books. Oh, okay, no. This was the Mending, Unbreaking, a few Swift Sneaks, and then Soul Speed and more Mending. In case I ever got back on and just needed the basic stuff. Or I got this from, there was a place called Pixel's Heaven, and underneath it there was a chunk error where all the fake ores that you see when you're x-raying turned into real ores. I might show that off later in the video if I remember. But basically it was just this weird glitch, and I exploited the hell out of it with a friend of mine. It was pretty great. Shulker box in my head's pretty self-explanatory. This one's not a real head, it's renamed apparently. Shulker box of diamond blocks. I've got a bunch of emeralds to enchant at Misfits base or something. Bunch of books, bunch of trims, and a bunch of Enderman heads. These became rare once entities stopped dropping heads. Then more Elytras. That's cool, actually. I'm gonna take those. I think I'm gonna hand out Elytras on the final day, just so everybody can have an Elytra. So yeah, here are the coordinates. If you want to steal these, go crazy. Go to the next one. Bunny Honey. So this is Bunny Honey. I named it because I came here. I wanted to only eat the cooked bunny in this game. And this is where you find bunnies to mass murder them. They spawn around in the desert, among other places. I think I found the most in this desert, so I just set up a waystone. Cow's uncle. This is Cow's uncle. Reads more like Cow's uncle, but initially I wanted it to be Cow's uncle, like sunkle as a separate word. This is where I just farmed cows endlessly for their leather. I would just make them breed endlessly, and then I would farm them all for leather, for books, and selling leather and stuff in the market. I made a lot of money this way. A lot of those diamond blocks you saw. The ones that weren't gotten from a exploit with model, and his name was Kona Games, Kona underscore games. They helped me get a lot of diamond blocks for free through an exploit at spawn. Yeah, that's where I got a lot of my wealth. Not much else here. I think there's this up here, kind of like a watchtower where I can just sit and AFK while, because there's a wait time. This is just a normal Minecraft thing. There's a wait time between times you can breed animals. It's like 5 or 10 minutes or like an in-game day or something. I'm not sure. But you would, breed a bunch of animals. And then you'd wait in this tower for the timer to reset, and then you just go and breed them again. Pretty sure at my peak I had like stacks and stacks and stacks of leather. It's pretty handy. Go to Endusi. Oh, here's the coordinates while I teleport. Here we are in the end. This was the one end base that I made. Here are the coordinates. I tried to make it really far out. I also tried to make it specifically where this ship was. This ship is an untouched ship. It's probably the lowest down ship there is in the server. I thought it was kind of cool, just to claim this whole thing and have my own little base. Tried to make a cool watchtower. It's ugly because I don't know how to build. But yeah, it was kind of fun. That is Industry. I think my pickaxe mine's too quick. Let's go to the nether half. So this is the end half. That's why I named it that on the waystone. Go to the other half. This is a build I'm proud of over here. This build is the nether half. So let's see the outside first. It's kind of this ominous wall. I think this is all claimed. I changed the bones from bones because I needed the bone block to frog lights, which I think look really cool. Kind of glows if I turn off my full bright. I did a lot of them too, like one out here. I was harvesting bones. And so I've got this. I lit it all up because I didn't want pigmen and ghasts to spawn. Ghasts were a big issue when I was building the wall, because before I had the wall, they were just blowing shit up. But I changed it all, and I made it look like some sort of end base. The lights do look a little ugly, I get that. I tried to like make it random looking, so it fit in a little bit. Yeah, a lot of skeletons spawn too, which I don't much care for. It's whatever soul speed makes my vision all wonky. Almost said wanky. Yeah, there's like this whole thing. I tried to copy the design. I think pretty spot on, or I can't remember if these windows were just me going kind of crazy. Adding an extra thing on the side. Here are the coordinates. Let's mine the waystone. I'm gonna leave my linked waystone, because if I ever want to reclaim this, if the server reopens, which won't happen, then I can go get it back easier. Had a little thing inside. I never actually did anything with this base other than just had it to look at it. I think I took out all the... I think I took out all the purple blocks and extra building blocks I had. It's pretty loaded. Yeah, I took that all. That's kind of it for this base. There's nothing else to look at other than what we see here. Cage this off. Because the square cage looked ugly, and so I did kind of a bulbous cage. Alrighty, that's my send-off for this area. I nearly died. That would have been funny. Get me out of that nether music. Anyways, here we are, Expo Scientists. I didn't realize how dark it is out here. I've never had full bright not on in this area. So up here, it looks like one of those really big, just crazy builds. Not builds, sorry, map generations. So I decided to build here. I think somebody claimed it now. Okay, so let me show what I actually built here. I think it's still claimed. Yeah. So what I wanted to do is kind of have like a science-y looking building. Oh, I probably can't even mine that. Kind of a science-y, think Portal 1, Portal 2 kind of look. Very clean and hygienic and sterile. Those are just building blocks in there. Somebody was griefing it because this corner was unclaimed. This is supposed to be black still. It's supposed to follow the road look. This is as far as I got. I didn't finish any of these rooms. I kind of just lost time because making all these like curves and stuff, it took a lot of like thinking. I'm not that good at building, to be honest. Extra ADHD. Yeah, I remember giving them the claim, because I had this claimed. They wanted to build a base here. It looks like they continued on my little build. Huge redstone contraption here. See if there's a way in. So, this is their build. I'm just going to show it off, because why not? They got a storage here. Oh, they named everything, too. Beautiful. A huge viewing chamber. Dude, they took the design and flew. Like, wow. I love this. I didn't actually expect them to like continue on the design either, but no, they killed it. Got a big map art right here. This is a map art I gave to them actually. A friend of mine, Century, had a different server they were playing on, and they made a map art to show off their kind of builds from a different server. It's cool. Looks like it was still being worked on quite a bit. This was probably before the server was announced to be taken offline. Kind of sad, because it would have been cool to see the full project being finished. Really cool to see, though. Thank you, Extra ADHD, for keeping the vision alive. Let's go to Geriatric Double. So, here's Geriatric Double. I think I've got this claimed, too. I'm gonna mine this waystone. Uh-oh. Well, that's where I gotta go anyways. There might not be water anymore, so I'm just gonna fly it. Well, that was embarrassing. I got my grid back. The Death TP took ages to work. Okay, so this was a Geriatric Double. Down here, there were two... What are they called? Ancient cities. Side by side, here's one, and then over here... You can't see it because render distance, but there's another one. And it was really cool because they were side by side. I wanted to do something with them. I think I only ended up using them for wool. Just farming wool. But it was still handy. Good to have a lot of wool. Because all these walls are made up of gray wool, and You can just use shears and slice them up. Pretty handy if you need wool. Go to the next one, gravel excess. Gravel excess, I needed to make a lot of concrete, which takes gravel and sand. Gravel's hard to come by in large swaths, and so I just made a waystone here because I found a huge gravel pit. And then I figured that this one would run out eventually. I actually have a second one as well. Gravel 2. Which I'll show off for about 3 seconds because I explained it all already. Gravel 2. Same thing as the last one. Tons of gravel. Okay, so the next few waystones here are the Lawless Land waystones. Anything that's a tool, I made a Lawless Land waystone. Pretty sure it won't let me teleport. Okay, cooldown started. Oh, I have chat off, so it's not going to say it. Yeah, it probably said, area is too dangerous to teleport to. Yeah, once Lawless Land was closed, I wasn't able to go to any of my waystones anymore. You're only supposed to have one waystone per, I think, like, year you're in Lawless Land. The way I got so many of them was by getting other people to join Lawless Land, people that wouldn't normally play it, and then getting them to give me their waystone. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Lawless Land waystones, just from people donating them. It's pretty awesome. You know, Cable Base, that's my main base. I'm not going there. Lava. This is where I collected lava for all my furnacing needs. A lot of magma cubes here. Okay. Yeah, you can see I just would collect buckets and buckets of lava here. Kind of flattened this area out. I was getting to a point where I needed to expand this outwards that way, because I couldn't reach any more lava. It's kind of funny. It's also very hot here. When you're wearing armor with the temperature plug-in, lava's hot. I mean, it's hot anyways, if you're nearby it, but... let's mine this. Show off them coordinates. I think this is claimed. Actually, it might be unclaimed. I wasn't too worried about claiming most of these waystones, because even if they were claimed, people couldn't mine them unless they were the owners. So, it was kind of handy. Skip all of these ones, because they're all Lawless Land. Let's go to Lush Cave. This is one of the waystones that I'm surprised I got away with naming, because it's a little well, not vulgar, but like it's a little rude. I don't know, Lush Cave. But this was one of the, I think, the very first cave that I started farming slime balls. A lot of people needed slime balls on the server, so I decided I'm gonna sell those on the market. People will need them. I sold, I think, 8 slime balls for, I think, 6 diamonds. Very steep price. People were like, just make them worth less if you've got a slime farm. The thing is, I didn't have a slime farm, but I didn't want to tell everybody this is how I got slime. There's an excavation perk. Let me check my excavation level. 252. So archaeology is a special ability. It says right here, archaeology. You can find, okay, not experience orbs. There's certain treasure you can find when mining sand or dirt or gravel or clay or moss. Things that you mine with a shovel. Moss is not one of them. I don't know why I said moss. And when you mine these, they can drop things like gunpowder, slime balls, sometimes cake, sometimes a cat, or 13 records, or just random items. You get diamonds very often when you're at like level 255, 252. And what I'd do is just mine endless clay, and I would get stacks of slime balls. It took around probably 10 stacks of clay for a stack of slime balls, and it would drop as clay balls, and so it took even longer because I needed to go fill these chests full of all the excess clay that I didn't need. But in the end, I got a bunch of clay so I could make bricks if I wanted to, sell the clay as well, and then sell the slime. I made a lot of diamonds off the slime balls. Let's go to Lushy 2. So, Lush Booty Cave, it was one of my earlier ones, and so I got away with the name, but I didn't want to write the same name again, because this Lushy 2, I got this one quite a bit later. I think Onion Boy helped me find this one. He teleported me here, and I was like, stay here, because he needed help with something, getting his grave, I think. But I was like, stay here, I wanna put a waystone down. And so he waited, or I got my waystone down, and yeah, there's another farm for clay and slime balls. You can see all this was clay. It's kind of just decimated by me. Got a bunch of chests, probably full of clay. I think I actually emptied these out and brought the clay to my base. I was so proud of just showing off my clay collection. It was kind of weird. Every time I'd show a tour of my base, I'm like, look at this. I think it was like 16 double chests of clay I had at one point. Let's go to the next locale. Mesa. So here's Mesa. I was doing like a Jar Jar Binks thing. I don't know what I was doing. This whole Mesa biome is claimed by Goober, which I think is very funny. Because it's millions and millions of blocks. Like my render distance does not cover a quarter of it. And yeah, I used to go here, or I set up a waystone, because I wanted to set up a waystone in every single biome, so I could have any type of block that I needed at any point. That was my main goal from the very start. Just get one waystone in each biome. I ended up doing it, and that's why you've seen an ice one and a swamp one, I think, is coming up. I might have broken my swamp one before I started recording. I can't remember. But yeah, I just had one in the Mesa biome because there's endless terracotta and endless red sand, and those are good building blocks. Alright, we're gonna break this. It's claimed by Goober, so we're gonna use it actually. We went to Expo Scientist Pump King. The Pump King, this is one of the big farms that I made. This was actually on, here's the coordinates. This is on a spot with a bit of history. So a friend of mine named Aguzki, they were friends with another friend of mine named Cactus. Cactus had a bunch of diamond blocks that he'd often brag about, and Aguzki had them in her base at one point, and she was like, I'm gonna go take these diamond blocks that Cactus cares a bunch for. I'm gonna hide them in a maze, and he has to earn them to get them back because he brags about them too much. So she made this underground maze under this like huge claim, and she was going to get Cactus to go through the maze to earn back his diamonds. I was gonna help out more with the maze building, but I was just so busy. I was always busy on my own little projects, helping people out with stuff. Eventually, this got abandoned by Aguzki, and I was like, can I just have this? Because it's kind of flat, it's kind of nice to build. He's like, yeah, go for it. You can claim it. I made a huge pumpkin farm. This is where I was gonna farm slime balls, in this little room right here. Actually quicker if I just mine the obsidian. That's funny. So I was gonna do a thing where I just make, what are they called? Snow golems with all the pumpkins, and then I kill them and have the like slimy potion, whatever, that drops a slime or two slimes every time you kill them. And it didn't work. Other than that, yeah, that's kind of the lore. Here are the coordinates again. I don't know if I showed those off. Let's go to the next one. We went to this one. I can't go to them again. Monumentous occasion. I thought I broke the waystone here. I apparently did not break the waystone. Well, we've been here already. Here's monumentous occasion. Oops. Next, we've got the ocean storage facility. So this is the ocean storage facility, or what was going to be the ocean storage facility. I was gonna make, again, I picked a spot that was far away from anybody's builds. I was gonna make a really cool glass underwater ocean storage facility, and I was gonna store, I think, a double chest of every type of block that isn't like stupid to get, like beacons or netherite blocks. That's stupid. But I was gonna get every other type of block, and then if anybody needed something, I'd just be like, here's a chest full of that block. Here's a chest full of orange concrete. Like, I would just be able to pull out any sort of block they needed. Magenta glazed terracotta. Here's a bunch of arrows. But I never got around to it because I was lazy. I have mining fatigue. That's awesome. Never did it because this is when I quit the server for a while. So this is the outlook. For some reason, it always teleports me on the roof of the build and not by the waystone. So this is the outlook. I built this base. I wanted to do like a Ewok fortress sort of thing where I have kind of little islands. They aren't trees. I know it's not Ewok in that sense, but I wanted like little islands connected by bridges. You can see this little hole up here. I wanted to have kind of a little base up here. This is where the enchanting table was going to go originally, but then I never got around to it, so I just built it down there. So I built this outlook to go over this warm ocean. This is another biome that I wanted to have kind of saved. Warm oceans are important for coral blocks, obviously, squids, and there's a custom enemy called the shark or something. I fought those in there as well. And it was overlooking my expansive sugarcane farm. I made this sugarcane farm because I did not like automatic farms. I still don't. I like just punching stuff. It also gives me herbalism level, or, you know, experience. You can see in the top. And I don't know, I liked manual farming. Still do. I was working on this little outlook after this sugarcane farm because I wanted to have it grow so I could have a bunch of sugarcane. And you need to be nearby it for it to grow, obviously, so I just built it in render distance. And it was quite nice. I worked on it with 7th Prince. He built literally half of it with me. Huge shout out to 7th Prince. When we were building it, we were in a call with Onion Boy and Prince, and we were making fun of Onion Boy for being a closeted femboy, which isn't actually true. We were just teasing him for some reason, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good memory. Let's mine the old waystone. Here are the coordinates if I didn't show them off already. Yeah, this one probably one of the more important waystones that I've had. One of the first. Go to Slimebach. So this is Slimebach. It's underground, real close to the surface. This is a swamp biome. I think at one point it was a swamp biome. It's now too green to be a swamp biome. I think it's just a plains biome that was like, or a swamp biome that was overwritten. Now it's a plains biome. I went here because before slime farms, this was the update, I think, before oozing potions were added. And I was like, I'm just going to go here and farm slime. Not a single slime spawned. I wasn't on a full moon or whatever that stops them from spawning. They just didn't want to spawn, which was weird. Yeah, it's just another biome to kind of add to my repertoire of biomes. If somebody needed a biome, I could say, I'll just teleport you to Slimebach. And yeah, it'd be easy as that. Another one that's super close to spawn as well, only 4,000 blocks away. Yeah, pretty cool. Check out the next one. Trials and Wiles. Okay, this one's a little dangerous. Here are the coordinates. I'm not going to show them for too long because I gotta go into battle mode. This was one of the trial chambers that I'm pretty sure I fully claimed myself. Because people like to mine these for copper. And so I was like, I'm going to have this all to myself. That's the nice thing about having hundreds of thousands of claim blocks, is you can just do what you want, really. I definitely free cammed just to find this. I don't know if free camming just to find shit like diamonds and trial chambers is illegal in the server. I just did it anyways because I didn't care. Nobody could find out. Well, let's leave this trial key in a chamber, or this chest. remember dying quite a few times in this trial chamber as well. And then I'd need to run back and get my stuff. It was a hassle. This was like early into the trial chamber update. I did not know what I was doing. I added 2 ladders here, so it's easier to get up to the evil chest thing. I don't know what it's called. We have another trial chamber. So this is True New Trials. This trial chamber is another one that I think I had fully claimed. I hadn't claimed it because it's in the middle of the ocean and the world is gone. Over here we got one of those cactus tree rooms. They're kind of rare, I'm pretty sure. Kind of cool. Other than that, just a trial chamber, nothing special. Then I guess the last one. So this is my last waystone. It is it's Wheat Kings. This was actually right underneath my base. My base is up here. I think I showed this off at the start. Right here is my base. This is Wheat Kings. So I built this pretty early on. I think it was just after I built my base waystone. I built this one. I just built a fuck off big huge wheat farm. It was originally a wheat farm, now it's a potato and a carrot. You can see in the corner a couple carrots farm. This was for herbalism levels, for one. And then also just for like food. I wanted a double chest of every type of crop. Important crop like potatoes and carrots anyways, not beets. But yeah, I collected just a crap ton of wheat and plants. I don't know why I'm explaining it any further, like, that's really it. This was an enemy of mine, Synabun. Synabun would always call people stinky, and what I would say when anybody else said, oh, you're stinky, is I'm like, okay, Synabun. I'd say that to Goober, said it pretty often, so I'd say it to Goober, and I don't know, I thought it was funny. Even though it's an inside joke with myself, so nobody else would understand it. Yeah, look at this, Synabun. This is proof. Proof that I'm not crazy. Let me get this waystone out of here. Deactivate it. Here's the coordinates for Synabun's village, I guess. When this gets unclaimed, everybody grief it. Go 23, 9, 18, 27. So that's 50 already. 73 waystones is how many waystones I had, plus the Mesa one and the Science Expo Scientist one. What is that, like 75 waystones I've had on the server? I've stolen at least 20. I think these ones were duplicated. And I've earned the rest of them. I've given away probably 10 to 20 as well. So I probably had around 100 waystones, if I combined every waystone I've ever had. The last thing I'll show off is my, where is it? Statistics. I'm just gonna scroll through these slowly, just so I have them in a couple videos, because these are kind of important to me. Spent a lot of time on the server. You'll see in the bottom in a second. I think it's 45 days or something. Distance walked underwater, 44 kilometers. Distance walked on water? What's that even mean? Elytra distance is pretty incredible. 2,600. No strider, no pig. No interactions with the campfire. 1,020,615 jumps. 9 plant spotted. 1 raid. 1. My time since last death. That's a shame because I just died. I could have seen the cool number there, but oh well. Water taken from cauldron. That includes lava, I'm pretty sure, and so it's quite a big number because I have an auto smelter. I've spent 44.36 days on the server. Oh. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see that next video, subscribe, and catch you in the next one.